Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. This video is part of my viewer comment response series where I respond to a comment made by a viewer against one of my videos. And the particular comment for this video goes as follows. You mentioned here that Ralph Lauren is very old money. I hope you can talk more about Ralph Lauren as a luxury brand, especially for men, in a separate video. I do agree that Ralph Lauren has a very exclusive old money appeal, despite having many mid-tier products. There's just something so aspirational about the brand. I do wonder where that appeal comes from. Once I started researching Ralph Lauren, it very quickly became apparent that the brand is way more than just products. It's about a mood that's inspiring, a mood that's uplifting, a mood that's incredibly positive, a mood that says if you're focused and you work hard, absolutely anything is achievable. It's about a lifestyle that's lavish, it's luxurious, it's fun, it's active, it's hugely aspirational. It's about a particular style of dressing, preppy style, a style that's neat, it's clean, it's traditional, it's conservative, it's understated. It has an underlying sporty vibe to it. Think of chinos, blazers, polo shirts. You have button-down shirts, your Oxford, your poplin, your plaid, your flannel. You have cable knitwear, for example. And so I just wanted to say to my viewer before I start, if it hadn't been for your comment, I would never have discovered the colossal and incredibly diverse world of Ralph Lauren. So thank you to you, my commenter. I'm Anesu Sagonda, and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things. Whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury, but you want to focus more on quality under the radar brands, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, then my content is geared towards you. Ralph Lauren is an eponymously named brand that was founded in 1967 with the first of their sub-brands. It's made up of a number of sub-brands. Most of them are within the mid-tier, but they do have a couple at the top end of the market. Purple Label for men and Collection for women. Polo Ralph Lauren is literally the bread and butter of the brand. Within Polo Ralph Lauren, you also have one of their most iconic products, the polo shirt. If you were to conduct a poll with 100 people, literally 9 out of 10 people, if they were asked to name an item that they associate with Ralph Lauren, it would be the polo shirt. But rewind to the beginning, and Ralph Lauren started his working career in the army. Worked at Brooke Brothers after his stint in the army, and then immediately prior to starting Polo Ralph Lauren in 1967, he was working at a tie manufacturing company called Beau Brummel. And at that time, the trend was to create thin ties. But he approached the brand, he had an idea to make wider ties, quality ties made from quality materials, handmade ties. Managed to convince the brand to allow him. And he went around marketing his products, was able to drum up success. Bloomingdale's interested in his products, retailed his ties. And in 1968, he went on to create a full menswear collection. Continued pushing it, gaining traction. And then in 1970, Bloomingdale's offered him a concession in their department store. He was the first designer to ever be offered a concession in their department store, retailing all of his products. And then in 1971, he then went on to open his first store on Rodeo Drive. And then literally the rest is history. Fast forward to where we are today. And Ralph Lauren has incredibly successfully built a massive empire of his rags to riches story. He is literally the personification of the American dream, which was all about every American having the right to success. If they're prepared to work hard, they're driven, they use their initiative. He did all of that, and he has gone on to build a massive empire that is now literally known as the foremost American luxury brand, Ralph Lauren. As I mentioned in the beginning, Ralph Lauren is made up of a number of sub-brands, typically within the mid-tier. I'm going to be focused on two of the sub-brands, Polo Ralph Lauren and Double RL, and then the sub-brand at the top end of the market, Purple Label. I'm based in the United Kingdom, and those are the three sub-brands that are incredibly popular in this market. I haven't touched on, and I'm not entirely familiar with some of the more entry-level mid-tier brands you get in the discount outlets or online, for example. But in keeping with my buy better, buy less theme, the three sub-brands I'm going to be talking about very much uphold my quality standards. Polo Ralph Lauren is your more affordable sub-brand, especially when compared to the Purple Label. It's your everyday, easy to wear attire. There's something for everyone and any occasion. Clean, neat aesthetic to their items, focus very much on quality, wholesome image of the sub-brand. What I really like, when you walk into a Ralph Lauren store, you will see complementing items, colors, stories grouped together. For example, you come in, you see blazers with chinos, with button-down shirts, not too far off, cable knit jumpers, and then next to them you may have the polo shirts. Come in, you see what you like, complementing items, painless process, and you leave with quality, well put together outfits. And then of course, they have arguably their most iconic products within Polo Ralph Lauren, and also the brand as a whole. The polo shirts, whole slew of colors. They're incredibly versatile. You can dress them up with a blazer, dress them down, worn on their own, or cable knit jumper over your shoulders, or mixed in with trendier pieces, high fashion, skateboarding attire, with streetwear, with directional fashion, for example. Incredibly versatile, easy to wear pieces. And then moving on to Double RL, which is Ralph's creative outlet. It's named after their ranch in Colorado, Ralph and Ricky Lauren, and it's his own personal creative outlet. He creates the attire he typically wears on his ranch. And as you can imagine, on the ranch, the collection features heavily around your more rugged, more robust materials like suede, leather. They also use salvage denim. And the style is your American Southwest meets your cowboy meets your vintage style. So your docker chinos, you have your classic check shirts. You also have your Lee-inspired denim jackets without the pockets on the front. And what's worth noting, particularly when it comes to Double RL, is they pay a lot of homage to the original Americans, the Native Americans who were resident in Colorado before the Europeans arrived. And you see that playing out in their use of a lot of their tribal, their traditional markings, motifs, for example. Every collection you see it featuring. And then the third sub-brand is Purple Label. Top end for Ralph Lauren, doesn't ever go on sale, and the focus is very much on quality. Don't choose any man-made fabrics. It's the most superior fabrics. If it's knitwear, for example, they're using cashmere sourced directly from Loro Piana. They're producing small runs, hand-finished work, and the focus is very much on the details. The pattern they've used, the cut, the fit, how it falls, how it wears, the longevity of the products. It's all about the very best. Style, it's your 1930s Great Gatsby meets your African safari, your out of Africa, when it comes to the richness of the fabrics and also the colors that are used in the collection. They also have their own polo shirts made from a fine peak cotton. It's slimmer in fit, superior quality cotton, and the focus is on a very discreet polo and horse. No other branding whatsoever on the rest of the Purple Label. And then you have this, the genuine mother of pearl buttons on the polo shirt, but it's an elevated product, very much in keeping with the whole look and feel of the Purple Label. Coming back to the comment that initiated this video. You mentioned here that Ralph Lauren is very old money. There's just something so aspirational about the brand. I do wonder where that appeal comes from. There are two brands that immediately come to mind. If there's any other brand that perfectly fits this example, please do let me know in the comments. Ralph Lauren and German brand Bavarian Motorworks BMW. Their appeal, Ralph Lauren and BMW, transcends class, culture, generation. Whether you are white or black and everything else in between, young or old, rich or poor, their appeal is incredibly wide and diverse. Looking specifically at Ralph Lauren, regardless of whether you're black or white, rich or poor, what's at the core for all of the groups is quality and the classic nature of the designs. They're classic, they transcend time. You don't have the issue with trend where you wear them for a season, a limited period of time. With Ralph Lauren designs, they're classic, they wear well for many years to come. The quality, the classic nature of the designs. And then the third is the premium image of the brand. I have never heard or read about any negative publicity, anything disparaging that's been said about Ralph Lauren. And even looking specifically at the family, you never hear anything that's to the contrary. They're squeaky clean. Absolutely nothing negative has been said about the family or the brand. So you have the classic nature of the designs, they're timeless, they don't age. You have the quality of the products, they wash and wear well, and the premium image of the brand. But you do get subtle differences depending on the group. So for example, talking about this whole concept of old money, which is incredibly topical at the moment, you have, for example, I'm going to attach above a video where I first spoke about quiet luxury. And in that video, I mentioned an article by the Financial Times, and it was talking specifically about King Charles's dress sense, and that he's very much focused on quality. He buys pieces that transcend time, and he wears them for many years to come. There was reference to his leather shoes and how they've wonderfully patinaed, and he just gets them resold, but he keeps the uppers. There was talk about his herringbone coat that he's been wearing for over 25 years. When it comes to purchasing decisions, particularly with old money people, the focus is very much on quality over quantity. Their focus is on timeless pieces that they're going to be able to wear for many years to come. Their focus is also on tailoring, on buying pieces that fit very well. And the focus is also on buying very good quality materials, whether it's silk, it's cashmere, it's wool, it's leather, for example. It's about buying the very best, it fits well, and it's quality all the way. And that's what the article mentioned about King Charles, and that is very much what drives someone who's old money when they're making a purchase. I'm making it specific to Ralph Lauren. In the United Kingdom, every year without fail, it's part of tradition. Senior members of the royal family will release a Christmas card. King Charles and the Queen Consort, and then you also have the Prince and Princess of Wales and their family. Last year, 2022, they released a Christmas card, and when I first looked at it, my jaw literally dropped, because the Prince and Princess of Wales are incredibly considered, deliberate. They never put a foot out of place when it comes to what they say, what they do, even what they wear. And of all the brands that the Prince of Wales could have chosen, he went for Ralph Lauren. And to me, that spoke volumes. And I felt he went for it for a number of reasons. Firstly, Ralph Lauren is focused on producing the very attire, the preppy style attire that is appropriate for him. Future King, you're never going to have a situation, unless there's context, where he's going to be wearing trendy items. He's typically always in incredibly classy, well-fitting, well-made pieces. The clothes Ralph Lauren produces are very much for him, for his lifestyle, the old money lifestyle, for the affluent. The polo shirts, he's a known polo player. The wife is into sailing as well. Black tie events, possibly purple label suits. the clothes are made for him. And I thought it was also interesting he chose the polo shirt, because to me it made him a little more relatable, a little more human. Yes, he's the future king, but he was wearing something that people know and have high regard for. And then the opposite end of the scale, you have, for example, late 80s, early 90s, you had a group that was formed around this whole subculture of Ralph Lauren. It was founded by young men from disadvantaged backgrounds in Brooklyn. And they would go into Manhattan, for example, to the top-end department stores, and they would steal Polo Ralph Lauren attire. And at that time, it was called boosting, and the group became known as the Lowlifes. And they're just focused on boosting Polo Ralph Lauren items because they really liked the oversized logos, the big, bright branding. But what was most significant is they were stealing the clothes because they were clothes that were made for a lifestyle that was not theirs, that they couldn't relate to, that they didn't see in Brooklyn, in the disadvantaged backgrounds that they were growing up in. They took the clothes and they made them their own. They created a whole subculture. And the clothes very much made them aspire or appreciate, look to a lifestyle that they wanted, that motivated them, that made them aspire for more in life. Because the clothes are not made for them or the lifestyle they knew or could relate to, but just they would look at it with hope and positivity, that there's hope out there. And therefore they stole it and very much made it their own and created a subculture within the hip-hop community. And then you have in between Japanese streetwear fashionistas who will mix high fashion, your directional fashion brands together with Ralph Lauren, because they like the American style, the whole concept of the American dream, the colors, the bold colors, the big branding, and it's versatile. And they mix it in with their high fashion and create a whole subculture for themselves. And then you have, of course, the Ivy League students who wear Ralph Lauren because that is their attire. It's made for their lifestyles, holidaying, having a home in the Hamptons, the sports they participate in, the polo, like for example, the Prince of Wales. And you have a cross mix, a very wide and diverse group of different people I've spoken about, just illustrating that the appeal of the brand is incredibly diverse. But at the core, it's about quality, it's about classic designs they can wear for many years to come, and of course, the premium image of the brand. Whether it's the Prince of Wales or it's the Lowlife crew, it's about clothes that are positive, and for some it gives them the feel-good factor, others hope, and in some cases it's about connecting to affluence. I hope I have answered your question to my commenter, and to the rest of my subscribers, thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.